Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So here I am back with another new video. Now this video will be regarding the 20th notebook. When I started preparing for my FMGE exam, during that phase I had a lot of confusions regarding what is 20th notebook and how to make one. So I thought I'll make a video regarding the 20th notebook on how I made it and what all are the things that you need to add to your book, and I'll give you a small tour through my notebooks so that you'll have a better understanding of what it should look like. So the first question is, what is 20th notebook? So we know that as we are preparing for an exam like FMGE, we have these 19 subjects to study. Now this 20th notebook is going to be the extra notebook that you will be carrying for yourself, and it will contain all the volatile topics from all your 19 subjects, or whichever topic you feel you will forget. So you constantly need to remind yourself just before entering the exam hall. That is going to be a 20th notebook. Now let's answer the question that what all are the things that you should be adding to your 20th notebook. Number one are the topics that you feel that you will be forgetting before your exam. So once you start doing your first reading, you'll have this feeling that this subject is very weak for you, or this subject is strong for you, or even in your strong subjects you have these topics where you keep on forgetting the content. Now the second thing is that the topics you feel confused about, you can add them to your 20th notebook. And I can explain it with an example. For like, I used to get always confused between the Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's disease. So whenever the examiner gives a question regarding Alzheimer's, I may diagnose it as Parkinson's. So if you feel that between two topics on the same subject, or even between two different subjects, if you feel certain topics are very confusing for you, you can add them to your 20th notebook. Now the third thing that you can add to your book is that, so if you are getting a lot of wrong answers for the same questions multiple times, and you feel that, oh, I shouldn't make this mistake again, so such MCQs you can copy them as it is into your 20th notebook. I'm not suggesting you to copy all the MCQs that you get wrong, but if you feel that 3 or 4 times repeatedly you have been making mistake on the same question, you can add that question as it is into your 20th notebook. Now another common doubt is that when to make this 20th notebook. During your first reading, you will feel that all the topics are very important and all the subjects are very important, because we are just getting used to the subject. So we don't know what is the high yield topic or what are the topics that have been asked in your previous exams. So what happened to me was that when I started concising my main notes into this 20th notebook, later I found out that there was no difference between my main note or my 20th notebook, because I just sat and copied all that is written in my main notes into this 20th notebook, which was a very big mistake, and you shouldn't do that. Do not start making your 20th notebook during your first reading itself. I'll suggest making this 20th notebook after your first revision, because by that time you will have an idea about what is important and what you must add. Now here is a tip. What are the things that you shouldn't add to your 20th notebook? That is the concepts. Don't add so much of information, and whatever conceptual thing is happening in that particular disease or topic, do not sit and copy that into your book. Now another common doubt is, why should we have this 20th notebook? Now as we are in this stage of our studying, that is 2.5 months away from our exams, we might feel that we have enough time to revise all the 19 subjects, but that's not the case, because 2 days before the exam you will be so much overwhelmed with the amount of content that you have to revise, because you have learned a lot of concepts from all the 19 subjects, and you will feel very confused regarding which subject I should be picking up for studying 2 days before your exam. All those important topics will be included in your book, so you can have it handy, and make sure you have a small book for it. Now your 20th notebook will vary from another person's, because whatever content or topics are important to you might not be important to the other person. You need not copy all the 19 subjects into your book. If you feel you're pretty confident about certain subjects, you can certainly skip those. For example, the subject pathology was very difficult for me. So even inside that subject, we have these tumor markers, right? We know that these tumor markers are really volatile and we will forget it. According to me, learning the tumor markers were fine for me, because since Preeti ma'am had explained it with a lot of good mnemonics, I was pretty confident that I might not forget the tumor markers. So if you feel confident about certain topics, you don't have to add it to your 20th notebook. I'll give you a quick tour through my 20th notebook. So initially I had started with the subject of pharmacology, and you know that everything I have written in this book is very important, and among that itself you can see 2 of these sentences highlighted, because these were portions where I used to get confused between dopamine and dobutamine, because both of them are used for the treatment of cardiogenic shock, but here dopamine is used for cardiogenic shock with oliguria. So in order to differentiate those, I have highlighted it. You can see here I have written short notes for cerebral edema. We can use mannitol. For acute CHF with pulmonary edema, it's furosemide, which is also a loop diuretic. So in this way you can just summarize your whole notes into your short notes. Now coming to a subject like surgery, I mostly get confused between the treatment and investigation of choice and diagnosis. If I have a disease written, then I have wrote down the diagnosis and treatment. In surgery, that was my most confusing part, that is the investigation of choice, management, or the treatment of choice. This is a capsule form of my radiology, and here I have written pathology, in which even after studying or revising multiple times, I still made mistakes on these topics. So I have written it again here. This is the genetic part, Prader-Willi syndrome versus Angelman syndrome. This question had come in my exam. Now these Downs, Patau syndrome, Klinefelters and Turners, this was very confusing for me, because the chromosome number and the the defect that we have in these diseases, I used to get very confused among those. So I've written them. And coming to ENT, the largest portion is the ear. So among ear, I have written all the small topics. All these are the unsafe CSOM, safe CSOM, the tympanic membrane perforation. So all those diseases, otosclerosis, glue ear, and Bell's palsy. Now I have written all those, made into short note. Coming to medicine, I usually have always got confused between the Alzheimer's disease and these Huntington's disease. So because I don't remember, in here we have decreased acetylcholine, and here we have decreased acetylcholine and decreased GABA and increased dopamine. So these were very confusing, so I have written it separately. Now this is the most important part. A little bit of biochemistry is also written here regarding the BCKD deficiency and alkaptonuria. These are the high yield topic, right? The maple syrup urine disease, Hartnups and all, etc. Now this is the most important part, that is confusions and mixed bags. I've kept a heading like that, because this was between 2 diseases I used to get confused all the time. So laryngotracheobronchitis and acute epiglottitis were 2 diseases where I got I get confused a lot of times. So to me, steeple sign and thumb sign looks very similar. Also Bryce sign and Boyce sign looked very similar to me, so I had written them, differentiating them. Now this is more of anatomy. Like, it's not the most volatile subject, but you have a lot of things to memorize over here, right? So I've made that also into this book. So now this book is over. Now apart from the 20th notebook, I had the separate number of pages for microbiology. Microbiology is very volatile. So this is Salman Sir's note that I had used. Now the extras that I have written with pen is from whatever additional information that were said by Preeti ma'am. So this cat sat on a mat. This also had, I remember this also had come in the last FMGE exam. So yeah, so this was another group of pages that I used to revise all the time for studying microbiology. Now here I have another additional sheet which was like a one-liner for the ECG of medicine. So in that I had these one-liners for WPW, arrhythmia, and whether the P wave is absent or present. Depending on that, it is sinus tachycardia. Then flatline, asystole, SVT, V-fib and V-flutter, atrial flutter and atrial fibrillation. So I had these one-liners for that, and here you can see this is very important: hyperkalemia, hypocalcemia, what is the treatment, these were one-liners. So that was it. I hope you understood what I meant. So if you have any more doubts regarding the 20th notebook, please feel free to drop down your doubts in the comment box, or you can also contact me through Instagram. We are just 2.5 months away from the exam, so I hope your preparation is going really well. So on that note, let me wind up this video. If you found it very useful, please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do that, and it will be a small motivation for me to make more videos regarding the FMG preparation. So until we see next time, bye bye.